life. I'm living for His glory. I'm on fire every day. And nothing can stop it, doesn't matter what I face. I am getting bigger every day. Every day. I have Jesus in my life. Living for His glory. I'm on fire every day. And nothing can stop it, doesn't matter what I face. I am getting bigger every day. Every day. Hello and welcome back to my channel, and this is your girl Blessing. You can call me Cantaloupe, woman on fire, and Blessing inspires. Remember, whatever you are going through, no matter the situation, you still need to take out time to do those things that you love, those things that will make you happy, and those things that bring you fulfillment and joy. I love singing and I can sing every single day, so don't forget to relax, guys. If today is gone, tomorrow continues, and if you are gone today, you won't be there tomorrow. Okay, so today, you guys know when I wear my glasses, you know it's gonna be a serious topic, so I want you to stay tuned. In fact, grab your popcorn because we're going to be talking some real things today, and this is Cantaloupe Talks. And today we are going to be talking about very interesting topics. If you haven't subscribed yet and you are new here, please make sure to subscribe and make sure to press the notification bell, turn it on such that whenever there is an upload, you will be one of the first people to get notified. So stay tuned and don't go away. So welcome again, guys. Welcome again to my channel. And like I said, today we are going to be talking or addressing something really important, and we'll be addressing, those ideologies that some of us have about being abroad or life abroad, and what it is like, especially as foreigners, because sometimes we do have a lot of misconceptions about what life abroad is or how it looks like. So let's get right into it. So for the first point, I'm going to be addressing the issue of those abroad or people living abroad have it all. They don't have it all. Trust me, be you a foreigner, be you a citizen, you don't always have it all. As a foreigner, living abroad, there are just lots of things, that surround your being in a foreign land, and the idea of having it all, maybe in terms of finances, is not always the case. See, if you see a foreigner, having, or whatever they are earning, I bet you they work for every penny they earn. As a foreigner, or as foreigners, we work for every penny we earn, and so it's not a matter of have it all, it's a matter of how hard you work. It's a matter of how hardworking you are, and the more you work, yes, of course, it can bring you more finances. And so it's not like once you're abroad you just have to sit and then there's some money flowing from somewhere. That's not the case, guys. And it connects to the second point, which I was going to talk about, which is, living abroad is not for the lazy. If you are abroad, it's not for the lazy. It's true that it's different maybe for someone who was born abroad, or you've lived, abroad all your life, or your parents are abroad, you have access to certain benefits as a citizen, or access to certain funds and things like that. But then it doesn't mean that you those or people who fall in that category have it all still. No, it's not the case. Like, relying sometimes on government benefits might not or will not really give you, that or those resources, that kind of finances that can make you live the comfortable life that you want to, or invest in things that you want to invest in, or just get those things for yourself that you want to get. So it all depends on how hardworking you are. And as a foreigner, if you think you'll travel abroad and fold your hands and say, oh, I'm abroad, and money is just going to fall from somewhere, you have it all wrong. You have it all wrong. So guys, if people are abroad, trust me, they work for every penny they earn. They work for every penny they earn, and they don't have it all. They don't have it all because they equally, have their own things, things to do. They have their own problems to solve. They have their own challenges to meet up with in terms of finances. So it doesn't mean they have it all. If they have it all, then everyone should sit and fold their hands. And even the foreigners, I mean, as a foreigner, if you're in your own home country, you can't just sit and fold your arms. You need to work in order to earn what you earn. The same thing living abroad. There's no difference. You need to work in order to earn what you earn. So you can see someone living an extremely comfortable life. Trust me, they work for it. Before they got there, they have worked for it. Okay, so and still they don't sit to say, oh, okay, now I'm happy, I have it all. What continues, because if you want to keep living that comfortable life which you want or which you already have, you need to keep working for it. So they don't have it all. Being abroad doesn't mean that we have it all. I thought I would address that, because sometimes I've had lots of people say, oh, blessing, you're abroad, oh, now you're abroad, or you have it all, or you sleep in a big bed, you have a big house, you do this, you do that. But it's not always the case. It's not. But trust me, you have to work, especially as a foreigner. If you don't work, you're joking. You're joking. Your bills are going to be lined up in front of you, and you'll be looking at it like, So you have to work. You have to work in order to meet up with those bills, meet up with those things that especially as a foreigner, you have bills. You have bills to settle. So you gotta work. You gotta work. There are no two ways around it. Okay. And talking about work, it connects. It makes me to think about time. It makes me to think about time. Sometimes I've had people say, oh, you have time, or you're abroad, what are you stressing about? You just need to work a little bit and rest and relax. You don't always have time. We don't always have time, guys. It's not. And I start thinking about social media platforms like WhatsApp and things, or people trying to call you, or people trying to text you, or people trying to send you messages and you're not able to respond. And then some people think, oh, it's because you've traveled abroad now, and you no longer, you feel like you've overgrown us, or you don't, people say these things always. But trust me, you need to be considerate about people who are abroad, or foreigners, or your friends or your family members who have traveled, because sometimes they work out their lives. They work out for very long hours. I work 13 hours, and sometimes I am on my toes for 13 hours. I mean, tell me, when do I have that time? I don't have all the time to respond to messages or to calls, and then I do it when I get time, you see. But some people might not understand this, and I think a lot of people who are foreigners living abroad might face these challenges, especially when you just get here, or when you just travel abroad, and people trying to reach you, people trying to get to you, and you don't respond like immediately, or you respond later, and they start thinking, oh, it's because you've now traveled abroad, so you no longer respond to us, or you no longer see us as priority. That is not always the case. People work, people don't have time, and sometimes just a little appreciation, even when someone comes back to you to say, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't get to you at this time because I was busy, just a little appreciation, to say, oh, I mean, you came back, you saw the messages, and you acknowledge that you've seen it, and you've come back to me. These are practical things that happen. Like I said, on this channel, we don't twist it, we give it the way it is. Yeah. So we need to be considerate. we need to be considerate. People don't always have time. People don't always have time. If you There are people who can stay on social media, or social media platform for hours and hours and hours. You need to ask them what they're doing. you know Sometimes it could be if they're not at work, or they could be on leave, or it's just, you won't see someone working for 13, 14, 12 hours and they get all the time to respond to messages. No. So you need to understand that. So it could be someone's free time and then they have all the time to be on social media. But when it's work time, there is no time. When it's work time, there is no time. So we always have to think about that. So I've talked about three things. First is living abroad. We don't have it all. You don't have it all. We have challenges. We have issues to solve as well. We've got problems to solve as well. So it's not like we have it all. Secondly, you have to work. You don't just sit and fold your arms and then there's some money, or there's some house is just going to meet you, some car is just going to come and meet you. No, it doesn't happen like that. And you don't get all the time. You don't always have time. We don't always have that time. So that's the third thing. All right, the fourth thing is it's not always that smooth, guys. It's not always that smooth. Don't be deceived by what you see on social media. Social media, trust me, what you see on social media is what people want you to see. All right, for example, if I want to maybe put some pictures, or let's say I go on some vacation and I want people to see, of course I'm going to put that on my social media platforms, and people be like, oh, she's living a posh life, she's having it all, she's enjoying, or she doesn't have any problems. But I am letting you see what I want you to see. I don't come and put all my challenges on social media, all my social media platforms. I don't tell you the struggles I go through. I don't tell you my secret pains. I don't tell you, the challenges I have, or what I face on a daily basis, or the stress I have and all of that. You don't see that. So it's not that smooth. I show you what I want you to see. That is social media for you. So you see people, and sometimes people take pictures. Generally we know that the environmental structure abroad is quite different sometimes from what you might find in other places, because of the way it's been structured, and it's been like that for ages. So you see someone take a very nice picture in front of somewhere, in front of some nice building, in a shop, in a supermarket, some beautiful garden, or in front of a car. It might not even be theirs, and you see that on social media and you think, oh my god, this is how it is. No, it's just a picture. I'm just taking my pictures, to have fun, and I can put that on my social media platforms. It doesn't mean that is how it is for me. And like I've said before, it doesn't mean that there are people who don't live posh life. No, they are. Trust me. And even back home, wherever you come from, there are people who still live posh lives there, more than thousands and millions of people who live abroad. That is fact. That is fact. You see, that is fact. So it's not about being abroad. I remember I said this from the beginning. It's about how much you work. It's about how much you work. If you work for it, you get it. You don't work for it, you don't get it. And the more you work, the more you don't have that time. It's not always that smooth. So it's worth taking out time to appreciate your friends, your family members who are abroad and who are doing great things, And the other thing is, like, people, from my experience, I've had people say, oh, can you send me an iPhone? Can you send me this? Even people abroad, not all of them use the Samsungs, not all of them use the iPhone. Some don't even have iPads, guys. So you might think, oh, I've asked this person for this and they don't want to send it, or they don't want to. It's not the case. They themselves, they don't even have it. like I said, we don't have it all. Being abroad doesn't guarantee the fact that someone would use an iPhone. It doesn't guarantee. There's no guarantee that that person would have an iPad. There's no guarantee that that person would even have a laptop. No, there's no guarantee. So you don't have it all because you are abroad. You don't. It's about how you work for it. It's about how you work for it. So you might think, oh, this person is not sending this person is not giving this, or this person is not doing this, and you think it is because while abroad you just have access to these things. It's true that it's a different scenario while when you're abroad, because it's easier to get those things or access them sometimes, other than when you're back home. It depends it depends on where you come from, but still you need to be able to get the finances to get them. And so if you don't have those finances, you still can get them. So that takes me back to work. You work, you don't have time, and it's not during while working you don't have it all. It comes with a lot of challenges, it comes with a whole lot of things. It comes with a whole lot of things. So it's not always that smooth. So you equally have to encourage your friends and your family members who are abroad. Okay? And don't get angry. Don't be mad if people don't always meet your requests. They might not tell you straight on to say, sometimes it's just pride or show off, and people will not tell you straight on that, oh my dear, I myself, I don't use this, or I don't have this, or I can't afford this. Guys, sometimes when those of us abroad, you need to be sincere sometimes. Don't kill yourself because you want to show off, or you want to prove to the whole world that yes you can because you're abroad. No, if you can't do it, just be sincere to yourself and to whoever is making demands that, sorry, I can't do this now, but I will maybe in the future. But if you can, why not? Go ahead and do it. Support whoever you can. Support your family, support your friends if you can. But if you cannot, just be sincere enough to say, I can't do this. I mean, truth they say makes you free. So rather than holding on and making promises, the worst thing about being abroad, guys, is if you make promises just to show off and then you can't meet up to expectations, then you make yourself a liar. You end up making yourself a liar. So just be sincere with yourself. Just be sincere to whoever cares to know or cares to ask. So that is it. We don't always have it all. We don't always have the time. It's not always that smooth. We equally have our own challenges. We equally have our own things to settle. So we always have to be considerate. So those are some of the things I thought I would address today, because I've had many of these questions come to me. So people living abroad don't have it all. So I hope I've addressed some very key points today, and I hope that we can start changing some of our ideologies that we have about life abroad, and about people living abroad, especially as foreigners and all of that. If you have anything to say, if you have anything to share, if you've had any experiences, as concerns some of the things I've shared today, feel free to drop that in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe and to like the video and to share. And I remain your girl, Cancelo B. You can call me Woman on Fire, and I am blessing and I inspire. And stay tuned and watch out for the next video that's gonna come on soon.